Hey there, this is Real Talk Baseball. I'm CarloBaseball. With me as always is WillPower and Tony Snap in the special edition of Fantasy Baseball. We're going to give you our sleeper, our comeback, and our bust players, since we already gave you our top three in the other video, and we even talked about steroid use and Hall of Fame people that should be in or shouldn't be in, right? So we'll go ahead and start with you, Will, and give me your sleeper for outfield.
So my sleeper, the past few seasons, he's been this great power hitter, right? He hits great against right-handed pitching, not so much against lefties, but he didn't really have a lot of opportunities to bat against lefties because he played with the Dodgers, and the Dodgers just had so many righties available that they either pinch hit for him or he just comes later in the game to pinch hit, and that's Jock Peterson.
Hold on, man. That just hit my heart right there. I love Jocktober, man. Why did the Dodgers didn't sign him? Damn, dude. You know, I'm going public with this. I've told all my friends. I told everybody, if the Dodgers ever won the World Series, I'll go ahead and get his jersey. But damn, now that he's gone, it's gonna be kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to get it, Jocktober, man. But yeah, continue, man. Continue. I just wanted to.
You know what though? Like, if Kershaw decided to sign with a different team after his contract is over, I'd still keep my Kershaw jersey. I would rock it. You know, to me, he's a Dodger for life. And Peterson, he spent 6 years of his career with the Dodgers, so I don't think it's such a bad thing. I mean, you might even be able to get it on discount now. Get that for $50.
That's not a bad idea.
With the World Series patch.
They're probably going to have that on clearance now.
50% off, guys.
So he's your sleeper because, I mean, he like one of your I guess what I'm trying to say is that because with the Dodgers, he didn't even have a lot of playing time, right?
See, and that's the thing. I think with the Cubs, he's pretty much Kyle Schwarber's replacement. So the Cubs, they didn't re-sign Kyle Schwarber because he was going to be owed like $17 million in arbitration. Ooh. But they just signed Jock Peterson for $7 million for 1 year.
1 year. Mm-hmm.
1 year for $7 million. That's a $10 million discount for essentially the same player who actually has better defense, right? Because Kyle Schwarber came up as a catcher, and then he transitioned into left field, into the outfield, and he's a big dude. Big dudes like that should not be playing the outfield. I feel like he's very athletic, right? So that's why they just kind of figured like, oh, let's just go and put him in the outfield. And it worked for them, right? For so many years. He's a great power hitter. He's a lefty, just like Peterson is. He was able to play every single day. They didn't care, righties, lefties, whatever. And I think they're going to do the same thing with Jock Peterson. Yeah. I think that's really what's been holding back Jock Peterson, because the Dodgers didn't let him play against lefties. He's going to have those opportunities now. In the minor leagues, he was tearing it up against lefties. And then 2015, when he broke out into the majors with the Dodgers, he didn't do so good against lefties. And that's why you know they were just like, well, I think it was Mattingly as a coach back then. Well, we have righties that, can hit against lefties, so we're just going to platoon him. And that's what he pretty much did for his whole Dodger career. He played a lot of games with the Dodgers every season, but he would never he wouldn't play complete games. He would start the game against righties, and then when a lefty reliever came in, they would replace him with, whoever they had on the bench. And I think in Chicago, he's going to have an opportunity to be able to play against both righties and lefties. And that's really going to play into his power production. There was a player that MLB Network was talking about. I don't remember who it was, but they were saying that his whole career he only batted against righties, and he was okay. He was decent, but it wasn't until actually he moved teams that he was able to play against righties and lefties. That not only did his production get better against lefties, but it also got better against righties, because when a lefty bats against a lefty pitcher, he has to tuck in his elbow a little bit just to be able to send it to right field, and it helped keep his elbow tucked in when he swung against right-handed pitchers also. So it actually improved his power production. So maybe we'll see the same thing with Jock Peterson. He's going number 361 overall. That's super late in the draft. That's like not even getting drafted. Yeah. So I think that this guy, if you can get him that late in the draft, or even as a free agent after the draft is over, drop one of the guys that you thought you needed but you didn't end up needing. He's a great guy to have on the bench until you can actually see that he has the production that warrants a spot in the outfield.
As much as I hate to say for him to have a successful year, especially with the Cubs, right? It's not a bad pick because I do see the potential. I do see the numbers for him. I did see that 2019, that was his best career, right? Best season that he has in his career. And he's not bad. He actually competed in the home run derby that year, I think.
Yeah.
And
he
remember
that with Vlad, right?
Yeah,
he was going heads up.
They were going like at it. And I remember that home run derby, like it was way different than the other years. And it was really cool. I liked it. I loved it. One of the players that I actually liked in the Dodgers was Jock Peterson, only because a lot of people didn't like him as much because he struck out a lot, right? But if he's a sleeper and he's going to get to play a lot more, he's not going to, it looks like he's not going to be one of those matchup players. He's going to be out there pretty much every game unless he really doesn't perform.
If they let Jason Hayward play every game, they better let Jock Peterson play every game.
And you know what? With Kyle Schwarber out of the picture now, he's definitely going to be slotting in there. Kyle Schwarber was their everyday outfielder.
Yeah.
Jock Peterson will be taking over as the everyday player. And that's good for him because he probably would have been getting the same, if not less, with the Dodgers. But at least this time he gets to grow as a player. And we can all see what he can do with a full season instead of just being in and out here and there. So I really like this pick so much that I actually also picked him as my sleeper. Jock Peterson, like you said, going in the later rounds are actually not even at all. I feel, but even with this move now, I feel like he is going to be on a lot of people's radar. So we'll probably see him going in like round 20, round 21.
His ADP is probably going to go up a little bit.
Yeah, he's definitely a great player. The Cubs, they should all be like happy right now because and if you're a real Cub fan, then you know what the Dodgers have been doing to you for the past couple of years. And Jock Peterson takes over in October. He does. He came up with us with a lot of key home runs during the Braves, and I think he had he's clutch, man. And
not even just the playoffs though, and during the season he's come through a lot.
Yeah, and hopefully, I mean, they're projecting him to hit 25 home runs. Hopefully,
maybe more than that, man.
Maybe it's going to be more than that because
if playing 9 innings, he's going to hit closer to probably 35, I would assume.
Which is a man. If more than likely he is going to be going in the later rounds. Like 20 plus rounds. So I think that's a steal. I think it's a great sleeper. I feel like me and Will have a lot of the same ones just because the outfielder is so deep. That position is so deep, and it's clear to us, who are the best ones, who are the ones that we feel like are primed to step it up, especially with Jock Peterson right now, just going over and having a full season. I feel like he is a great sleeper just because of the potential that we know that he can do, and also how late he is going in the rounds.
And not only that, Tony, he's hitting his man strength,
No way.
Yeah, he's going to be 29 this coming up season.
Oh, there you go.
So that's, something else that Will has been like really
preaching,
and that's
man strength.
But that's really good. I think this pick is not something that's going to be taken lightly because I know he was with the World Series champs Dodgers. And he's going to the clubs to get more playing time, and that's not.
He's going to be worth more than $7 million after this year is over. That's my bold prediction.
Oh, bold! That's really bold. That's really good.
You know what else I was going to say about Peterson? Also, he grew up in the San Francisco area, so he grew up as a Giants fan, and then to get signed by the Dodgers, I mean, that's got to be kind of like a shot in the foot. Right.
Yeah, this team.
So,
upside down.
I think him moving to the Cubs, it's kind of like, take some relief off of his shoulders. Also, me growing up as a Dodger fan, if I got drafted by the Giants, I'd be like, damn. All right, I guess I'm a big ball player now, but I got to play with the team that I grew up hating. And I'm sure he was probably the same. Like, damn, I got to grow up. I got to play for the team that I grew up hating, but they're giving me my shot. So I'm going to make the best out of it. But that's how I would feel. I don't know how he would feel. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't give a F. If I was in the big leagues, I was in the show, I wouldn't care who I was playing. I would play for the Giants. I don't care. Let me get my name out there. Let me start my own thing. And I feel like just you might be right, but I feel like a lot of players don't hold that type of grudge, at least not too long.
Well, before we move on to our comeback, I know Jared Goff, the quarterback from the Rams, he was a San Francisco guy, and he was getting on Puig's, bat side before he even got drafted by the Rams. And I don't know if you guys remember how Puig actually set up a meeting for Goff to come, to Dodger Stadium once he got drafted by the Rams. He's a quarterback for the Rams, of course. And, he became, he wore the Dodger jersey, even though he said he was never going to do it, but he went and did it. And yeah, to Tony's point, if you just become a professional player, baseball player, football player, whatever it is, money talks, so.
Putting on that Giants uniform, if I was a ball player, putting on that Giants uniform for the first time, I would just look in the mirror and I'd be like, what have I done to myself?
It would hurt. It would hurt a little bit.
I own so many hats over here, but I will not own a Giants hat. I will not. No, if it's given to me as a gift, I got a fireplace. I got 2 fireplaces.
I got a full head of hair right now. I think I'll lose all my hair if I wear a Giants hat, a San Francisco Giants hat.
It's toxic.
Yeah.
Sorry to any Giants fans out there. We don't mean it.
We love the hate. No, we mean it. Yeah,
we kind of mean it.
Go ahead and hate. That's all right. We love it. We want the hate. Let's go ahead and move on to the comeback, dude. Like, Will, you went first. Tony, give me your comeback.
It's funny how you were just mentioning him, Yasiel Puig. I don't know whether or not he'll be signing with anybody, but I feel like MLB will be so much better just to have this guy in part of the league. I don't care where he goes. He's the wild horse, man.
Yeah.
You don't know
he's an exciting player.
Exactly. I feel like he's also clutch. You know what I mean? He brings this type of energy to this ball, any ball club. I feel like the Red Sox had a resurgency and were able, not the Red Sox, the Reds. The Reds were able to hit that playoff run because of a player like Puig. He's just so good. I don't know why people don't pick him. Not necessarily people like fantasy owners, but actual owners. Hopefully he either goes. I hate to say it because we're gonna be playing against them as Dodgers, but either with the Braves. He was in talks with going with the Braves a few years ago, but then he got. I don't know if it was COVID or he just didn't pass the.
It was COVID.
It was COVID.
Yeah. I mean, but regardless of the fact, Yasiel Puig is a great player. I feel like the type of energy will motivate any type of team. I'm looking at his and he's got a great sample. This is going to be his 7th, 8th year. On base percentage is .348. Batting average 270. These are career numbers that I'm talking about. OPS 823. This is a good player, and he's going in round 22, 21. I think it's a steal, and I don't care who he ends up with. He's gonna be I'm not saying that's the main outfielder that I want on my team, but he is my a type of player that should be your number 4, number 5. Or even utility. Yeah. Don't sleep on him. I'm looking at him and I'm gonna keep him in my team. I'm already eyeing him. So
you got to wait for him to sign though.
Yeah, I don't care who he signs with. I don't.
He kind of reminds me of like Juan Soto, right? Like not like his production wise, but just like how he plays the game. You see Juan Soto doing like the little shuffle that we were talking about earlier, and then you got Puig. He'll like swing and miss, and then he'll grab his bat and he'll lick his bat all crazy and everything. And I feel like he's given a bad rap, but I feel like also a lot of players like Soto, like Tatis, they should be praising
Puig because he opened the door for these type of players to go ahead and be themselves. You know, Tatis throwing the bat like that. When Puig would do it, everybody was going crazy. Oh, he's so disrespectful. Now when Tatis does it or Soto have this like, you know, this confidence level, because that's where pretty much what it is. It's confidence, you know, but players or like owners and they look at it as disrespectful movements. But
because baseball used to be looked at as like a gentleman's game.
Yeah,
right?
you know, we're
but
involved.
It's not a gentleman's game. It's a kid's game.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to let the kids have fun. Letting the kids have fun, not really like these are kids, but it brings out the fun in the game for fans. You know, if the players are having fun, the fans are going to have fun watching.
Exactly.
It's like even when we see Puig barking at Madison Bumgarner, going back and forth when Puig was with the Dodgers, you know, that's fun. Or when Amir Garrett hit a batter, the pitcher for the Reds, and then I think the batter like started like charging the mound or something, and Puig came out. He was like the first one running out, and he was brand new to the team. You know, this guy's a team player. I love to see this guy on the field. Guys like him, like you said, like Tatis and Soto, Tim Anderson, guys
exactly.
Have, like their personality kind of show through their game.
Yeah, nobody says anything about those guys.
Make the game fun. Make the game fun again. You know,
exactly.
there's too much politics. There's too much Manfred kind of messing up the game right now.
Yeah, baseball's getting in their own way.
Yeah.
And I agree with you completely, Will. These players right now, like everybody looks at Tatis, looks at Tim Anderson, looks at who were we just talking about? The other guy, Soto. You know, everybody looks at him like everybody's like applauding it. You know, like, oh wow, cool. But when they look at Puig, they look at it as like with their nose up in the air, talking about like, oh, this shouldn't be like this, shouldn't be like that.
Because he was with the Dodgers, and the Dodgers have always kind of been held to that higher standard.
Yeah.
Where they're more like the relaxed team. Like they don't show like that type of emotion and, you know, excitement through their game. They let their bats and their gloves do the talking for them.
Yeah, but the game evolves though. It needs to be evolved.
It does.
It has been evolving, and Tony hit it on the freaking button when he said that Puig is the one that actually started doing all that, not really starting the bat flip but just that attitude, that bad boy attitude. Yeah, that confidence level. Yeah, like that. A lot of these, these players owe them like a great thanks, you know, because now Tatis can be himself. Now Soto can be himself. He can grab his junk and, you know, do all this stuff. Yeah. Hey, if Puig would have done that, dude, they probably would have fined him or something like that, you know. So
this is the kind
I want Puig back. I want him back. That's all I want.
This is
the kind of controversy that baseball needs. You know, Eric Bischoff, the former owner of WCW Wrestling, he said controversy creates cash. He wrote a book on that, and that is so true, man. When you introduce controversy into a real sport like baseball or, you know, any sport, it entices fans, and then those fans get engaged, and then they want to own a Puig shirt or a Puig jersey or buy the hats for whatever team he plays on.
Yep, and it does create a lot of people to watch whatever whatever controversy starts, right? Yeah. We saw when Max Muncy hit the home run against Madison Bumgarner, and everybody was tuning in. Yeah.
Go get it out of the water.
Go get it out of the water. So, Will, is that your comeback as well, or you have someone else?
No, my comeback it's a little more obvious. I do like Yasiel Puig as a comeback. He took the season off. I've seen videos of him looking super strong. He's doing some crazy workouts right now, and I think he's ready to come back, make a big comeback.
And he's doing that. He's doing that workout at the beach. Actually, he said, "Oh, this is how we do it in Cuba. Like we go ahead and do it in the beach." So I saw some videos. He
running on
ripped.
the beach ain't no joke, man.
Ain't no joke.
Every Sunday for years, and
I don't even like to do that.
And we're Californians.
My comeback player is Christian Yelich. And
Christian Yelich.
There's nowhere that he can go except for up after the season that he just had. A 205 batting average, 12 home runs is decent, but we expect a lot more from him. there is no way that he's going to be a 200 hitter next season in a full season. And maybe he's not really happy with the Brewers because they're not, pushing that playoff run like they were a few seasons ago. But I think that he's a really good trade candidate. And if he has this breakout first half of the season, like so many people expect from him, we could see a potential trade happening before the deadline.
You think so?
I think so. I mean, the Brewers kind of know they're not really going anywhere with who they have right now. I don't know how many years he has left on his contract, but he hasn't been with the Brewers that long. He got traded from the Marlins, so he should be coming up on free agency pretty soon. Yeah. If not the season after 21, maybe the season after that. But I think he's a really good trade candidate. 205 batting average. He has a career 296. This guy hits, 35 to 40 home runs every season. He steals bases also. So on base percentage has always looked real good. OPS has always looked real good. He's a former MVP. What happened to Tony?
He's indisposed right now. He's good. He's good. I like that pick. Well, I don't think that, what is it, that 205 batting average that he has for 2020. He's one of those players that you see as the season goes on, he gets hot. He didn't start the season very hot in 2000.
No, he really didn't. And that's after his MVP season.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So those seasons in 2018 and 2019, he started off slow. And then as the season went on, he caught fire. And for the 2020 season, how can you get on fire when you're having the summer camp, right? It's not really spring training because you're actually just playing games against your squad, not playing against other squads, and not really. That's where you do your scouting. Sometimes you look at, this guy's throwing harder. I'm gonna think about that next time I face him. But when you have the summer camp that they did have this past season, it's a little bit more difficult for you to get ready for the season, which they actually did. He didn't do as well. But 60 games is not a big sample for him to actually show fantasy owners to not pick him. And that's a great pick for a comeback because he didn't do all that well.
He did horrible, actually.
Yeah, he did horrible. And he's a 296 batting average. And that, I guess, is because of the 2020 season. It brought him down to that average. And
but see, it's like what we said earlier. Like it's possible that he was just having some bad luck. Like I don't remember really watching a lot of his at-bats, but when you have that perfect swing, perfect timing, perfect everything, and it just goes right to a fielder, it's just bad luck. A lot of guys have like a string of bad luck. We saw that from Matt Carpenter a few years ago. He had a really good hard contact rate. Everything was going good for him, but it was just that the ball was just going right to a fielder. And then the next season you see him and he has almost an MVP season. He helped me win my league that season, So a small sample size, like 60 games. He only played 58 games, right? And which is pretty much the whole season, but that's not even half a season, half a regular season. So I think playing the full season this next year, if he can stay healthy, God forbid the Brewers have like a COVID outbreak or something like that, I think we can see another MVP season from Yelich.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Tony, you agree with Yelich?
I do agree with it as being like a comeback player, but I also feel like it can go either way for him right now. He's at that point in his career. I mean, to me, I don't see him getting back there. I just don't.
Dude.
Really? So is he your bust or what?
No, he's not my bust.
Well, he could be.
Look, but he could be. But see, look, he could be. He's been doing great. I honestly feel like he has been doing awesome. He has on base percentage as of 1,000, 2018, 2019. I don't see why a lot of people are saying that he's gonna be falling off, but at the same time, I do.
No way, man. He's only 28.
Man strength.
I mean, his worst season other than 2020 was a 282 batting average.
But look. What's his career average in home runs? 25? we can do better than that, especially in round 1, round 2, early round 2.
Yeah, but that was also before his like kind of man strength came in, right? When he had those 2 MVP seasons, he had 36 home runs in 2018, and then 2019 he had 44. So if we can expect him to get like 30 to 35, not even hit the 40 mark, right? Just 30 to 35 on a consistent basis every season, that's going to warrant like a first round pick.
Yeah. I honestly feel like he hit his man strength a little bit early. That's all.
What round do you guys see him going, though? What round do you see him going?
He'll more than likely go late round 1, early round
1, early round 2.
He will. I mean, but I just
you're going against what the experts are saying, then, Tony.
I don't want him on my team. I'm not looking at him. I'm not.
I think there's other better players out there than
not necessarily better, but somewhat more productive. You know what I mean? Because Christian Yelich is a good player. He is probably one of the better players in the outfield position. But at the same time, like, I would rather have Trout's going number 10. Yelich is going, 14, 12? I would much rather have Trout. I'm not gonna. If I'm a Brewers fan, and I'm got my first round pick, and I see Yelich there and see Trout there, I'm gonna go Trout. If I'm a Brewers,
but I mean, I think that number 10 for Mike
25
Trout,
home runs is nothing.
I don't see where you're getting that from. I mean, I see Christian Yelich going at like number 11 or 12 overall, which is right at the end of the first round. And then right after him is Freeman, and then Bellinger, and then Bauer, Darvish, and Lindor. Honestly, out of all those guys, I would pick Freeman ahead of Yelich. But other than that, I would take Yelich ahead of all those other guys.
You would take Yelich over Bellinger?
Yes.
Ooh,
you're crazy. The eligibility alone should be making you lean towards. And then I think Bellinger even has more of a projected home runs, probably hitting 30, 35.
Yeah, but Bellinger's also been declining on his batting average. He strikes out way too much. His on-base percentage is getting really low. And his batting average has been declining kind of consistently.
But he plays for the Dodgers, though. He plays for the Dodgers. And the Dodgers are a great team. Everybody around them is better. Who does Christian Yelich play for? And who's around him?
Yeah, I guess.
Hey, but you
know,
there's
that. But Brown,
the production.
What's that other guy's name? Kane. These guys are old. These guys are not gonna. The Brewers, to be honest, he's almost like my buzz. But I agree with Will. He is a good comeback player just because we expect him to bounce back. We expect him to be, I mean, he was like. Christian Yelich was MVP 2018, number 2 in 2019. He is a good player. I'm not saying he's not, but I don't want him on my team.
Let me show you this real quick. So looking at Christian Yelich, his batting average 205 with 12 home runs. Going over to Cody Bellinger, he had a batting average of 239 with 12 home runs. Same home run production, right?
Yeah.
But if you look at the on-base percentage for Cody Bellinger, 333, which is a little bit less than 100 points higher than his batting average. 333 is not bad when you're only batting 239, but then you look at Yelich, batting average 205 and his on-base percentage 356. That's 150 points higher.
Slugging percentage 430.
Well, this last season for Yelich,
786, bro.
So this
like
last
average.
season,
but then
that's like
Cody
average.
Bellinger was 789.
Yeah,
only a .003.
3 points.
I mean, they were almost the same player last season.
Yeah.
And then the season before that, they were almost the same player too. If Yelich didn't get hurt in the end of the season, he would have won MVP over Bellinger.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Well, we'll see what happens, dude. Because I know this is a great comeback and this is a great conversation.
Yeah, it's a good pick. It's a good pick.
It's a good pick. But the dialogue here, I like it. I love it because you guys are going back and forth. Tony, you're saying that you're not in love with that pick because you're like, you could pick other players, and Will's like, no, his on base percentage is just a lot higher than what is Bellinger, which you brought him up, right?
I mean, I would much rather have Bellinger than Yelich.
Oh,
I would just because he's eligible at first base, and then you could stick him either in the corner, infield, utility. You can put him anywhere. Basically, okay. I feel like his value, Bellinger's value is a lot higher than Yelich.
Well, with that, then just give me your bust. If it's not Yelich, who is it?
It's Yelich. Nah. Just to stick it to you. My bust is Kyle Tucker. I don't understand where these experts...
Where the hype is coming from.
Exactly.
Right?
He has... like I was alluding to earlier, I feel like we're pretty similar in these picks just because it's kind of clear cut as to who are the elite outfielders and who aren't. You know? And maybe Kyle Tucker has the, project... like in the future to be an elite, but I mean, we've only seen 108 games in 3 years. Mm-hmm. The only time the Astros pick him up is towards the end of the season, and he only gets to play like for a month or two, and only plays he has.
And this guy's going 35 overall.
Yeah, and in ESPN, I see him 21.
Why so high?
Hype.
Why?
Hype,
why?
Man.
They're probably just like a lot of Houston fans out there thinking that he's just going to be great, I mean,
he had really good minor league numbers, so I can see him in the future being really good, but I haven't seen that from him yet. So I agree with you. I don't think that he's going to be anywhere near like number 30. I think he's going to be more in like the 100 range, going more in like he should go more in like round 12.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I look. The reason he's my bust, he's going in ESPN. They have him average draft pick 21. I'm looking down the list. Average draft pick 81. Charlie Blackmon. I would much rather have Blackmon than Kyle Tucker.
I agree.
You know what I mean? I feel like he should be more. Kyle Tucker should be around the same level as to where your Stremski is at, Rosarina is at, which is probably, let me see.
Wow, 13 home runs in his whole 3 years of service.
That's what I'm saying, man.
I don't know. And then the batting average of 244, like for fantasy baseball, is not even good. I don't even know who this guy is, to be honest. I mean, yeah, I do know who he is, but like if I'm a fantasy, like I don't even think I'm looking at the papers and I'm like, what? Kyle Tucker?
But see, look, this is why it
doesn't ring a bell,
A good example to kind of bring this out to light, because if you're a fantasy owner and you're like picking your players and you're like, who do I pick? Because when it comes down to it and you're doing your draft, you get caught in the moment. You only have 1 minute, and you're like, oh my God, you're scrambling. You feel like you don't know what to do, especially if you're like a new owner. I mean, I was speaking from experience. Round number 1 or round number 2, I chose the relief pitcher because I saw something on ESPN and I was just like, yeah. So, I mean, if you're a fantasy owner out there and you're like, who do I pick in round 2? Don't let that guy be Kyle Tucker.
Dude, you got Anthony Rendon, Xander Bogaerts, Corey Seager, Eloy Jimenez all going after this guy.
It's crazy. It's
that
crazy. Some guy that doesn't even have an actual full season under his belt.
Sense. Especially because he's only eligible in the outfield.
Exactly.
Maybe if he was eligible second base, shortstop, and outfield, that might make a little bit of difference. But his production's just not there. Maybe now that Springer's gone, he'll get some more playing time. He'll kind of come into his own. But I don't see that, man.
Yeah. Well, there's no
more cameras in center field going to help him out. So.
This last season, he did play the full season, I guess, because he played, I believe, like 58
games in the 60-game season.
Did you already do your bus, Will?
No, that's what we're waiting for. And
who's your bus? Is it Kyle Tucker? I said that's who I would.
It probably should be, right?
Yeah.
Who's your bust, Will?
So my bust, I was actually going to pick Randy Arozarena. He's going number 69 overall, and I think that's way too early for a guy that we only saw about a month of production from him. Now, that month was amazing, but then when you look at his stats with the Cardinals, he sucked with the Cardinals, and then all of a sudden he comes over to the Rays and he's part of the hype, and then all of a sudden he becomes like the best player in baseball for a whole month. I don't buy it, dude. I don't buy it for one bit.
No.
Oh.
Just a quick little. I'm sorry to like interrupt, but just a quick little thing. The Cardinals have a good farm system. Luke Voit was somebody that they traded off. Luke Voit is probably a top 5 first baseman.
Yeah,
and I feel like
I really like Luke Voit.
Yeah, the Cardinals fell asleep behind the wheel, and Arozarena and Voit, like they dropped the ball there, man.
But is Arozarena really worth going like number 70 overall?
Hey, look at Voit.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. It's highly possible, but I'm not willing to take that gamble. You know, not when money's on the line.
And that's your bust?
No.
No?
Kyle Tucker is more of a bust than Arozarena, because Arozarena went into the playoffs really, really hot. Remember that push was really amazing.
I would pick Arozarena where he's at, which is probably like round 7, round 8. Why not? Because the outfielder, seriously,
I think the outfielder's too stacked.
This guy's had like
but look, right after that.
Appearances.
Well, that's all we have for today. Make sure you tune in for the next video where they go ahead and talk about their bust. You want to see WillPower and Tony Snap fight? That's a good video to check out. I'm Carlos Baseball. This is WillPower and Tony Snap. Real Talk Baseball, signing out.